Hello Sparkle Squad, this is Monica. I hope you're doing well. And I have another Be Creative collab with my friend Terry at the Tapping Flamingo. This is for the month of September 2022. Miss Terry does a lot of jewelry making and other crafts as well, but primarily her jewelry making. And we typically post these on the 13th of the month. However, of course, I'm running a little bit late. I'm sorry, Miss Terry. For the month of September, we are doing the theme in school days, and I am working with some coloring pencils to turn into jewelry. So let's get into it.
Hi guys, this is Monica. Today we're going to be making some jewelry with colored pencils. If you have just some old junky coloring pencils, that's really, the way to go. This is kind of just a cool and artsy way to use up some of your supplies, especially if you're looking to buy some new ones. I did go ahead and buy some new colored pencils because I didn't have any already, and I just got mine at the Dollar Tree in the primary colors, so they've got all of the basic colors. There's only 10 to a pack. And then I also had some, because I have a stationery fetish apparently, just some little multi-designed pencils, and there's some stripes and some little owls and some valentines, like little holiday pencils or whatever. I've got a bright red one. So you can also use those as well if you want to have something that's got a little bit of design. But we're going to be using a junior hacksaw. This one is a 6-inch, and I got this at the Dollar Tree, if you can believe that. You always want to have your safety glasses. I did get these at the Dollar Tree as well a while ago. I use these whenever I work with my resin. A spare block of wood, and my husband has these all the time, so I snagged one so that when I saw my little pencils here on the wood, I'm not sawing into my table. I've actually come outside. He's got like a little plywood thing set up because he's working on another project, and I'm just temporarily kind of commandeering the table. And then I've got a personal little, this is a off-brand, it's called Drill Master. I got this at Harbor Freight a while back. I use this to drill the pendant holes for my resin pieces. They've got some really small bits and things that I can use to drill holes in what will become beads for the coloring pencils. So if you get some coloring pencils, or maybe you have some in your stash already and they're not sharp, if you're going to make the necklace that's part of this project, you will want to go ahead and sharpen your pencils, at least so that you can cut off the tips, because those will become your pendant pieces for your necklace. And then the rest of the coloring pencil, you won't need to do that because you're just going to be creating beads for those as you cut them apart. You can see those crazy things. But I am going to be making a necklace, so I'm going to cut an 1.5 inches off of the sharpened part of my coloring pencils here and use them as the pendant. And then the rest of the pencil will just be in probably like 3/4 of an inch pieces for the beads. So I'm going to get started doing that, and I'll be back. You could take a Sharpie and mark off where you want to cut these, but I'm just going to eyeball it. Okay, I'm starting to get to the end here, so I just turned it around because I was starting to cut into my piece of wood. So I'm also going to need some 1200 fine grit sandpaper, because all these little pokey bits, you're just going to sand those off to where it's nice and smooth. When you drill the hole with your drill, I got to put my bit on. Pretend this red pencil's a drill. You're going to be drilling down the side like this, probably closer up to the top. And then that way your stringing material can go through, and this is how it's going to hang off of your necklace for these pointed sharpened pieces. Now the rest of these I'm going to try to make even. You can do different sizes if you want, and just cut little beads. Now with these beads, I'm going to keep it, or I'm going to try to keep a 3/4 of an inch size on mine. When you turn those around, you want to try to be sure that you get them in the same spot. So there is one of my beads. I can just take the drill and push out that color, or Another option I could do is to make these ultra small and drill these this way. You can also drill it just like you did your pendant here and just have your beads be long ways. So you can do either or. I kind of like the look when you put your bracelet on that you see the leads. I'm going to go ahead and drill my pieces through the side here, and then that way that would be going onto my bracelet, and so I can see my color pencil here on the top and the bottom, as well as the color here. So there's a green pencil. So what I'm going to do then is all the rest of these I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing that I just did with all of these little pieces here.
I filmed this back in 2016, and in the editing process I've apparently misplaced or lost the footage where I continued to use the drill to make the holes and create some jewelry. So I can't even find the pictures of my jewelry. I have decided I'm going to do a voiceover though to give you some more information about how you can actually create your own jewelry and other cool things too. I was able to find a blog post from Design Mom where she was creating beads using the coloring pencils in the way that I was back in 2016. She has a little bit different shape of coloring pencils, but I love how she did her drilling, and this is exactly how I did mine. I just used my little saw, and then I took my little hand drill and created the holes so that I could put my string on there and also make some earrings and pendants. So I will put the link below to her blog. She gives specific instructions in a little bit more detail if you would like to see that. And I'm going to also show you the pendants that she created, because I did do pretty much the same thing here. There's my picture on the left there, and then hers is on the right where she has the pieces that are the pointy ends, and just drilled the holes in them and put them on string. So ultra fun project. If you're interested in that, I suggest that you give that a try. You can do this with kids, although of course they will not be wanting to deal with the saw or the drill. As you can see here from several examples that I found on Google, there are so many different ways that you can play around with the bits and bobs of your coloring pencils. You can either do like I did and have the brand new from the Dollar Tree, or you can just use leftover bits from your own coloring pencil stash that you have. I just love everything I see here. I would have never even thought to do hair breadths the way that I see here in these examples that I pulled. And I do like the little post earrings. Those are ultra cute. So if you like to work with resin, they have some really neat bangle bracelets you can see there. I love anything that I can put in resin, so that was a really cool idea. And I think that's probably the breadths too that you see there to the left that I was talking about. But I mean, you can go fancy, you can keep it casual. There's just so many different possibilities, and these are perfect gifts for teachers or like anyone who's an artist. This was just absolutely the most fun. I actually taught a class at Michael's, and we just had a blast using these. I guess you could also do this with crayons as well, but these coloring pencils are a lot more durable. So I really enjoyed playing around with my coloring pencil project back then, and I have gotten a lot more cool ideas just looking at Google since I did lose my footage. So maybe that was apropos, so that we could look at a lot more different types of examples. I really like using those slivers. If you see those earrings there, it reminds me of a honeycomb, but colorful, and I really like the look of that. A lot of different interesting ways that you can create jewelry using your coloring pencils. So I hope you have enjoyed this. Again, I'm sorry that I lost the footage for my stuff that I did make back then, but I thought that this was a great project idea for the school days that Miss Terry assigned for us for the month of September's Be Creative Challenge. If you're interested in participating in her challenge, it is not limited to a certain type of craft. You can do anything. I like to do jewelry making and paper crafts, but she's got it open to whatever you like to make. Just be sure to use the hashtag and the word that she has assigned for the month. October is going to be boo! So be sure to check out all the other ladies down below in the description, or by using the hashtag. Make sure that you check out Miss Terry at the Tapping Flamingo. I'm sure she'd love to hear from you. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you stopping by my channel, and I hope that you have enjoyed this. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Share this with any of your friends that might be interested in my jewelry making or any of my other crazy crafts that you see here on Sparkle by Monica. I would really appreciate that. Thanks again for watching and have a sparkle-rific day, y'all. Bye!